Today I'm going to teach you how to do the slip stitch. It's an invisible hand stitch. Typically you use it when you have two folds coming together, like on an inside lining. Let's say this was my bag lining. I just flip my bag right side out and have to slip stitch that little opening shut. Or it's often used on linings. Let's say our bodice of a dress had a lining but our skirt did not. We would slip stitch our lining to the seam all the way along our waist, and it would be an invisible slip stitch. So to start off with, you want to grab a sharp needle, a small needle, so less chances of big sort of holes in your fabric. It slides in easier. Double threaded and then knotted at the bottom. And I typically just make my thread from fingertip to elbow in length. Anything longer has a greater chance of tangling while sewing, so you could knot off a few times. If you were going around your entire waist, it might take you sort of 3 rethreads, but it's definitely worth it. So we never want our knot to show, so we're going to hide it into the fold of our fabric. So I'm just going to focus my camera here. There we go. So you are going to go into the fold of your fabric and come out the top. That way your knot is not showing and your thread is coming right out that upper fold. Now we want to make sure that whenever we cross to the other side of our fold, we do not travel. We are going to come out here and literally go right back in, right across. We don't want to go suddenly over here because we would see our thread jumping across. So going straight into my opposite side of my fold, and I'm just going to grab about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter of that fold and pull it through. And then again, wherever I came out my lower fold now, I go directly across to the upper fold and grab the inside fold as well. And I'm just going to put this up a little closer to the camera so you can try to see this. So I'm right across from where purple came out the bottom fold. My needle is grabbing the top fold and I have it in for about 1/4 inch. Okay, when you do that and you give it a pull, it will stay invisible. So when I give this, my thread was just not going as evenly. There we go. So when I pull it through, even though I'm using purple thread, I should just see that maybe the tiniest of a tick right there and there where it crosses over. My needle is always staying horizontal. It's never going up and down, and that's what helps keeps it invisible. So now I'm at my top fold, so I'm going to go directly down to my bottom fold and grab a little bit of that inside folded edge, push it through, and there we go. It's staying nice and invisible. Again, going straight up. And so you're just alternating grabbing the top fold and the bottom fold and running it along horizontally, not traveling when you come out of that fold, going directly above or below where you let out. And that way it can stay as invisible as possible. My needle's never coming out the outside of the fold either. You don't want that. You'll start to see your thread on the outside. Just staying along that inside fold of that lining piece and going right back into the inside fold. And that is how you do your slip stitch. If you do have a loop like this that pops out, it just means your thread wasn't pulled through evenly. So just pull on one of the individual threads here and it will release itself. There it comes. So it should look invisible along your folded edge. And then when you actually open up your linings that you were slip stitching together, if I give it a little pull on it, it should just look like that. But you can see my threads jumping straight across, but it is an invisible stitch all the way down that seam there.